everybody. I said, hey, everybody. I said, hey, everybody. It's the dugcast. Yeah. Hey, everybody out there in the internet's land. Hope you're doing good today. I'm doing fairly well. Just kind of chilling out, messing around with some musics. Got to hear it there in the intro. It's an older song, but I've been messing with it for a little while. Figured I'd drop a remix there. So let me know if you liked it. I can see in the chat, Rozzy likes it. We got Sam. We've got Rozzy. We got Tim in the chat. I hope y'all's having a good day on this beautiful Sunday morning. It's absolutely beautiful outside. Me and Axel's been outside, walking around. We went for a ride. I ran over a log. Thought I broke my car and come back home. But, everything's going good. I'm glad I didn't break my car. I got two cars, and that one's the Axel car. He rides in the back of it. But, I've been trying to read more comic books, because we like comic books here. And let's look at what I've got. There we go. I use my tablet. I've got a Kindle Fire, like a 8-inch tablet that I got last year, and I use it on Comixology. Comixology Unlimited is pretty cheap. And what I like is I can try out lots of different books, stuff that I probably wouldn't buy in stores, and give it a good read. And then I discover new stuff. There's a ton of books that I probably would never buy in the comic shop. But, when I see it on Comixology, I'm like, hey, I'll check that out. I'll give that a read. And one that I was reading last night at work is, let's make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. Let's make my head just a little bit smaller. There you go. New Superman Volume 1. This is from 2016. Apparently it ran 2 years. And let's read a little bit about it right here. New Superman, Volume 1, made in China. It says, #1 New York Times best-selling author and National Book Award nominee, Jean Luing Yang. And I apologize for that pronunciation. I'm terrible at pronunciations. But it continues his work at DC with New Superman Volume 1, a part of DC Universe Rebirth, which I didn't really care about all that. New 52 chased me off, and Rebirth I just really didn't care about. I read some of the Batman stuff, and it was okay. But, whatever. But, this is a really cool comic. I didn't know what to expect going into it. But, it was a lot of fun. The art is pretty good. Tim Lim says, I was New Superman. Well, that's cool. But, this takes place in China. He's the new Superman in China. We get the first couple pages here to look at, so you don't really see a lot of the cool parts. But one of my favorite things in this is that they've put together a Justice League of China. And there's a Batman and there's a Wonder Woman of China. And it's just really neat. Like, there's one part where they see him on TV and the real Justice League sitting there and Batman's like, what is this? So, I really like that. Tonic Mole says, I didn't take the New Superman for some reason. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I don't know. Like I was saying, I never would have picked this up at the store and been like, I'm going to read this. But using Comixology on my tablet, I see it, and I'm like, I'll give that a chance. And, I really enjoyed it, and it probably is because I expected it not to be anything special is why I took to it. But it really surprised me, and I read the first volume last night at work and really, really enjoyed it. So I'll be reading part 2. Now, I might be checking out some of their stuff. One thing that I found that I know I'm going to enjoy because it's really great. And let's see, we'll pull it up. If it'll pull it up here, it'll probably just explode and ruin everything. Oh, come on, you've got it in there. I forgot the space. You poop head. But on Unlimited right now, they have Spider-Man 2099. And this is of course, they've got the issues listed here. Apparently, they've only got 10 of them. But still, really cool character. One of my favorites. I'm looking forward to revisiting this. I love the art on these books. To me, this was like a great period in comic book history, and they were really trying new things and doing new stuff. This right here, Spider-Man 2099 issue 9, was the first issue that I had. I remember I saw it at Walmart, and I bought it, and I loved it. I was instantly hooked on Spider-Man 2099, and he's got an awesome costume. He looks so cool. He's got a cool backstory. I love the world that he's in. I liked this, and I liked Ghost Rider 2099 a lot. Ghost Rider 2099 is probably my favorite. And, I got the new one, talked about the other day. The new one is not that great. It's very mediocre. The art's mediocre. The story is really mediocre. It's like they run through it as fast as they can. So I'm not a big fan of that. But if you get a chance, if that new Superman looks like it might be something that you like, go check it out. I'm a big advocate for Comixology and using tablets. You can pick up an 8-inch Amazon Fire tablet for like $50. I know $50 is not, just something to scoff at, but you can pick them up used cheaper. Amazon also will let you make payments, like 6 payments on a tablet, and it's well worth having that to read comics. I've talked about them before, but the awesome thing is you can read it panel by panel, so you don't have to zoom in on the panel when you open up a page. They've got the view, and you hit the side of the panel, and it goes to the next panel, and it zooms into different parts. It makes reading a comic really easy. It's like the coolest thing ever. I hate reading PDFs on my computer. I hate reading them on the tablet, but on the Kindle, it's great. The Bunderdome, Tim says Ghost Rider 2099 issue 1 is one of the greatest intro issues ever. Kenshiro Cochran is the best cyberpunk hero. I totally agree. It's so good, and that's why if you read the newest one, he's not a great hero. He is scum. They take the story and condense it, but he's not cool at all. Ghost Rider is not even cool. They try to explain why there was a Ghost Rider and all this other stuff. It's not good. But the original Ghost Rider 2099 is like a cyberpunk masterpiece. The 2099 series was great until Marvel kind of lost their steam with that and took all the stuff and put it in one 2099 book. And yeah, it's just kind of lame. Tonic Mole says Comixology is pretty awesome. I read a lot of comics on there first and buy the ones I like physical. That's exactly what I do. I read stuff because a lot of times you might just get to read the first volume or the first issue, 2 issues, and it's really awesome because I'll get on there and check something out. I'm like, oh, this is not good, and I can avoid it, or something great, and I'm like, well, here's some new stuff for me to read. I love it. I think it's a great tool, and actually here in the future, I'm going to try to get I think I'm going to try to put my Lone Wolf comics on there. You never know when they might just pop up and somebody go, hey, that's cool. Maybe I can check this out, and maybe they'll look into reading some comic books by me. I know it might not lead to any physical sales, but that doesn't matter. Oh, man. Well, I don't really have a lot to talk about today. Yesterday we did like an hour and a half long stream. That's a little extreme. I don't feel like doing that today. I got stuff to do. I got some anime to watch. Some more comic books to read. I actually need to be writing. I got some stuff I need to write. I appreciate y'all stopping by, listening to my music, listening to me ramble about stuff I like a little bit. So, that's always fun. Tonic Mole says, big supporter of indie, getting their stuff on there. I buy a lot of indie there. Just bought Punchline and Gun on there. That's cool. That's really cool. I don't like to buy digital at all. I've bought a couple on there. I bought some alternative stuff on there when I was wanting to check it out because it was so hard for me to find local. And one cool thing is they always got like a lot of the free comic book day stuff on there. And that's another way, if you don't want to pay for the actual unlimited, you can still get a lot of free books to check out. Yeah, I actually need to go and pick up that Punchline trade on Indiegogo. Everybody talks about how great it is, and I like Matthew Weldon. So yeah, that's what Sam's talking about there in the chat. We need to start dropping links to this stuff. I wouldn't even know anything about Matthew Weldon if it wasn't for Tim Lim. Tim says, are you going to be uploading Lone Wolf on Comixology? I think that I'm going to try. I think I'll put issue 1 on there, and issue 2 I'll think about. If you guys want to, I might show you a sneak peek on some pages that's been inked. You guys want to see... Of course, I was showing off a panel the other day. I'm pulling it up. I'd show off some pencils, but pencils don't show up well on here. There we go. Trying to get this stuff big enough where you guys might be able to see it. So, yeah, here. Tonic Mole says, let's see it. So, let's make this. Let's zoom. I don't know if I can zoom. Yeah, there we go. This is a little blurry because this took with a cell phone. Because Jameson takes pictures and then sends them to me on cell phone. This is just one panel. This is a character that I'm introducing for issue 2. I actually want to do a spin-off with this character called The Hand of God. But I need to find an artist who wants to do things, who wants to collaborate and do stuff, and not cost me a fortune. because I'm poor. So I really like the faces the dude does. Sam says Weldon being on the next issue of Soul Finder will be radical. It totally will. Now here is one. I love this artwork here. This is the character. His name is Preacher. You'll get to see some story about him in there. But you see that going on. And look at these faces. I love these faces. You guys are getting a sneak peek. And you see this guy, his head explodes. And this guy's got some radical facial hair. And then he gets stabbed in the head. And then like my favorite picture of Wolf I've ever seen so far right here. This is my favorite thing. Oh, come on, it won't get no bigger than that. But yeah, this right here is my favorite. The knife coming out of his head and all that stuff. So you get to see a little bit of behind the scenes work. I'm really pleased with the work that Jameson is doing. He's even dated it and stuff up here. He's doing a really good job. He's just a young dude. And I really appreciate him working with me. The plan is for us to make comic books. Try to make a little bit of money. So, I hope y'all thought that was as cool as I do. I thought it was totally rad. Dude has just been cranking out stuff. He did, it took him a little over a month to do 24 pages of pencils. And that was over Christmas. And the pencils are awesome. He totally... One thing I liked about his art is Mad Dog is like the craziest looking dude ever, you know. And Jameson totally nails his face. Every time I see Mad Dog show up in issue 2, Jameson's got the look down. I mean, he completely nailed it. And he's got some really cool action. It makes me think of older comic books. The dude is a big fan of like 70s and 80s Batman. And you can see a lot of old comic influences in there. And I love his style. He's such a cool guy and a great artist. And really, when Legends of Lone Wolf come out, you'll get to see what he did there. He wrote a story and penciled and inked it and colored it. And it's a really cool little story. I'm really glad to be working with him. Can't wait to show you guys issue 2. It's definitely a little more action oriented, which I mean the first one had quite a bit of action. I love writing action stories. It takes me a while to tell a story because I'm like, let's have 3 pages here where these guys fight, and then there's like a splash page where everything's exploding, and there's another splash page here, and every other page is a splash page, and just how I roll. If I can get I got Jameson, me and him's gonna crank out Lone Wolf books. I just need somebody to work on these. Another cool thing. This is a secret that I haven't revealed to anybody. I talked to Tonic Mole in the chat, and we're going to work on one of the ash cans I was talking about on Twitter the other day. We're going to work on a Mad Dog ash can and kind of do a little story about him between issue 1 and issue 2. So you kind of see what he was doing, what was going on in his head. Probably, you know, it's not real long, but just a short little ash can, something cool to come with the comic. And if I can find an artist, the other ash can will be The Hand of God. It'll be like a little intro to that. And I don't know if I'm going to call it The Hand of God or not, but that's just kind of a working title. It's going to be about the character you saw there getting attacked by zombies. And a lot of the guys that worked on Legends of Lone Wolf, I'm going to contact them as things go on. And I kind of want to do, some ash cans, just 10-page ash cans to do like on Patreon or something else. We got Durkin in the chat, and he says, "Girls dancing in bikinis is what's going on in all men's heads." Okay, I can't disagree. You're more than likely right. I mean, that's not what was going through my head right at this second, but that's kind of what is going through my head now. Just because you dropped that in there. I still have got to read Matt Krotz's book. I got it yesterday. I haven't sat down with a physical book. The reason I read New Superman is because I can take my tablet to work. I don't want to take actual books to work because my clients, if they get angry, might take it and rip it up, and I would be mad if they ripped up one of my books that I bought. And I don't want to get mad over stuff like that. I still got to read that. I got to read Trixie Kane. I read Earthworm Jim. I meant to talk about that some. I really enjoyed it. I talked about it on the Needle Movers stream the other night. I was playing Earthworm Jim and talking to those guys. Killer book. It looks nice, but it's a fun story, and I like the characters. And I really can't wait to see what Doug does with that. Looking forward to Bigfoot Bill as well. If any of you guys, I'm just going to throw this out there, because we got quite a few creative types and cool people. Yeah, there goes Tim putting it in. I'm not pronouncing it. I'm just calling it the Matt Krotz book from now on, because I don't like to pronounce things. So there. Me. If any of you guys ever want to collaborate on anything, whether it be ash cans or you want to write a Lone Wolf story or whatever, just hit me up. We'll do something. We'll make something happen. I like working with other people, but I do have rules and boundaries, and you need to learn about those before we can work together. And I'm not gonna dog anybody, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. I had a couple different people working on stuff with me, and they're nice guys, they're cool guys and everything. But as they kept coming up with things, they pushed it farther and farther away from what I wanted it to be. And if I lay something out and I say this is what it is, we need to stay within this. Don't try to push it over here, because I'm not going to like it. And all my books, I want to keep them at the. You saw the violence there. It's zombies, so it's not like he's killing random people. But I want my books in that PG-13 realm. I don't, I want books that is accessible to maybe not little kids, because little kids don't need to be seeing stuff like that, but teenagers and adults. Maybe your 12-year-old nephew likes comic books, and you're like, hey, check out Lone Wolf. It's got zombies in it. I don't want profanity and lots of stuff like that. And that's my only things. So, if you start pushing those boundaries and putting adult language, and I tell you this, but you do what you want to anyways, I can't work with people like that. So Tim says, look up the song by Mr. Mister, classic 80s. No, Tim, tell me what to do. You need to post that on Twitter and put hashtag dugcast playlist like we was yesterday. And we talked about music for like an hour yesterday. If you want to see some good tunes that everybody's listening to, just go to Twitter and put in hashtag dugcast playlist. I dropped it there in the chat. There's a ton of music on there. Lots of fun stuff. So, I'm done for today. I'm tired. I don't know if you guys can tell. My eyes are sunk in and they're tired. And I need a nap. Went into work early last night. So I worked for 10 hours. And by work, I mean I sit there and read comic books most of the time. But it's still being up all night at work is just being there and being up is kind of tiring. So I hope y'all have a good day. I'm going to get out here. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to start having guests. If you're interested, shoot me a DM. I'll make a group chat. Start dropping links in there. I use Google Hangouts. I know I figured out how to stream my Hangouts through OBS. But let's start out. If you're available during the day, during the week, let's do some shows. I had a good time talking with Matt Reese the other day. He's a good dude. And if you didn't see that video, go check it out. And Durkin says it's okay. I doze all day at work. Yeah, I might doze some too, but we're not going to talk about that. It's hard for me to wink and look at myself winking on the monitor because it makes me want to do it with the other eye. But y'all have a great day. It's always fun talking to you guys, and I appreciate you stopping by and listening to me ramble. I will see you all tomorrow around the same Doug time on the same Doug channel. All right.